to also realize that you are incredibly privileged and blessed just to be in the space that you're in.
Right. Gary Kirsten went from one of the most successful cricket players in the world to one of the most celebrated coaches in the world by leading the Indian cricket team to a World Cup victory in 2011 for the first time in 28 years. Join me on the pitch for a chat with Gary. So I know that when one has lots of people that worship you, it tells you how great you are, that you need to have a very different conversation with yourself in order to keep yourself grounded and humble and keep your perspective of where you fit into the world. And I think you do that well, Gary, from everything I know about you. What is it you tell yourself to stay humble?
Yeah, well, thanks for that, Bertie. I don't know if I always do it well. My wife checks in with me and she says, no, sometimes you don't do it that well. A couple of things. First of all, I'm actually by nature quite introverted and shy. So I stay, by default, I stay away from the public domain as much as I can. In fact, I have a Twitter account that I don't administer. I get someone else to administer because I just actually don't even want to consume it at all, you know.
Yeah.
But we feel it's important for our businesses and stuff. But yeah, I kind of stay away from that space. Humility for me is about being absolutely authentic to who you are as a person, number one. And number two, to also realize that you are incredibly privileged and blessed just to be in the space that you're in, you know, and not to, for me, not to take advantage of that. And that's where I think you can move out of humility, you know, when you think it's your right to be in the position that you're in.
Yeah.
So humility, or the concept of humility, I think is fairly easy. I think I'm learning along the way as well as to the different levels of humility. You know, we bandy around the word humility like it's something that you just understand and it's easy to act on it and behave accordingly to it. But I think it's more complicated than that. And I think I'm learning in some areas I'm not that humble, you know. But certainly in the public domain, I think it's very important to project yourself in such a way that this is not your right where you are.
But the question is, if you now live in India and you know you have got tens of millions of people that will bang down your door just to shake your hands, what do you say to yourself when you wake up in the morning?
Well, there are two things that happened through my experience in India. You know, I finished on the day that we won the World Cup with the Indian team. That was it. I didn't sign another contract, although I was offered one. You know, I had made a commitment to my family that I was going to come home. And two things happened on that day. One was we won the event, okay, which was going to change a lot of people's lives on that day. The other one was I was lifted on the shoulders of some of the Indian players and they took me around what they call Wankhede Stadium, which is the stadium in Mumbai. And there were 60,000 people in the stadium shouting my name. And I had two emotions that came out of that. One was absolute and sheer embarrassment. I've never been more embarrassed in my life, number one. And the other one was gratitude, just a sense of gratitude. I mean, if this is what people are thinking about me, you need to honor that, you know. I was incredibly grateful for that experience.
Yeah.
I still to this day, I mean, next year will be 10 years since that event. But still to this day, I do get you know, people coming up to me, mainly Indian people from around the world, and they will go, Gary, I just want to thank you for allowing us to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's the comment they make. And I want to tell them, but you can't, because it's, you know, it's a quick pass on comment. I want to tell them, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. All I did was I was part of the journey and I was part of an experience with a group of very talented young cricketers, and we just worked it out together.
Yeah.